What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan, and welcome to another video. Subscribe if you've not subscribed. Check us out on the web at livecortex.com, at livecortex.com/blog. Giant blog for nootropics information. At facebook.com/Cortex Stacks. My own personal Facebook page is facebook.com/Ryan Michael Ballo. Very new. We post a lot about life and business. 6 powerful products support this broadcast. Here they are.
Elite level nootropic products.
Number one, the Cortex Nootropic Stack. It is a powerful pre-made stack. We built it 2 years ago. Pro poker players, Wall Street people, business professionals, corporate folks that just experiment with nootropics, real estate people, all kinds of folks are our customers that take the Cortex stack. It's a very strong stack. We built it to really make an impact so that when you take a couple capsules of Cortex, it's not subtle. It's not like, am I noticing placebo or not? It's like, you notice the brain turn on. Get a bottle of Cortex at livecortex.com, livecortex.com, for it's being called the only pre-made stack that works. Very strong stack. We've got 5 digital nootropics books that teach you how to use nootropics, but mostly they give you high-level nootropic stacks to take. Get them at livecortex.com. If you stick around to the end of the video, we'll explain them at the end. We also do a nootropic consulting service. It's a 40-minute call with me, 15 additional email correspondences. Okay, so let's talk about somebody's bad experience with the mighty ALCAR, but let's give a preface on ALCAR. ALCAR is basically an energy facilitating nootropic compound. It does 2 primary things that are considered nootropic-like things. Number one, it donates part of its sort of structure to the production of a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. It's not a precursor to acetylcholine like some people seem to think, but it will produce some acetylcholine somewhat. It basically aids in the production. It's a donor of a particular enzyme, I think acetylcoenzyme A, for acetylcholine. So that's the one thing. But the primary thing it does is it's essentially an acetylated version of carnitine, and carnitine allows fatty acids to travel to the brain for the brain to use for energy. So the brain primarily uses glucose for energy, and that's how it should be, despite all the people that are, we could get fat adapted and use fat all the time. Yeah, well, that's pretty temporary, and how you feel is actually a catecholamine surge. So it's epinephrine and norepinephrine surging as a result of a bunch of things, probably gluconeogenesis. Sometimes it's good to kind of switch in between temporarily, and it's actually a really optimized state. Like cyclical ketosis and cyclically being in a ketogenic state is useful sometimes for good brain performance. And ALCAR is one of the things that might facilitate that and give you more brain energy via that process. Dose range is really 200 to 1,000 milligrams. Most folks find a sweet spot between 300 and 500 milligrams of ALCAR. My sweet spot is that range, and really it's about 400 milligrams, and I'm just like off to the races. Makes me feel good, gives me verbal fluency, gives me mental energy. I mean, it's a powerful nootropic compound, and so that's ALCAR. But somebody wrote on the nootropic subreddit the following: my friend recommended 500 milligrams of ALCAR, during the late afternoon, so 4 or 5 p.m. During my study sessions, I noticed a dip in mood, a rise in anxiety, decreased sex drive, that's weird, and consecutive nightmares, and not an improvement in study performance. Has anyone had similar effects? So basically what he did was he took 500 milligrams of ALCAR later on in the day and ran into rise in anxiety, decrease in sex drive, and then nightmares, and also a dip in mood. So as some of you might be imagining, this might have to do with acetylcholine somewhat, because look, it will donate that enzyme to the production of acetylcholine. And so in folks that are particularly cholinergically dominant, which means maybe they eat a whole lot of stuff that builds acetylcholine in their brain, or maybe their genetic makeup makes them so that they're kind of already cholinergically dominant. You know, these people tend to be super outgoing and also super analytical and just have really functional brains. They don't really need cholinergic nootropic compounds. I mean, you know, we talk about racetams and Noopept and all these cholinergic nootropic compounds as if they're really awesome, and they are, but only for a certain part of the population. There actually is a subset of folks that take nootropics that don't respond well to cholinergics at all, and they probably won't, and there may not be things they can do to fix that, like take B vitamins, some of the stuff we talk about in Smarter, Better, Faster, which describes how to get yourself to respond to certain nootropics if you're not responding to certain nootropics. And these folks would probably take modafinil or other affinils, things like L-DOPA, perhaps tyrosine, theacrine, other stimulants, things like theobromine. Maybe you want to focus on neuroprotective things like icarin, which comes from horny goatweed, or maybe alpha-lipoic acid to prevent oxidative stress, and that thereby improves their brain performance. But so that might be the case here. This guy's a cholinergically dominant person, just does not need acetylcholine modulating things, and that could be, the issue. But I mean, look, there's other things that ALCAR might do. I mean, we might look at this fatty acid thing and think like, maybe this guy's got a blood sugar issue, right? Just like a regular blood sugar mismatch issue. Maybe they're hypoglycemic, which means when they eat something particularly sugary, their blood sugar shoots up and then it shoots back down. And then, if you're feeding the brain a way to convert fatty acids to fuel, maybe the switch, just the immediate switch in a particularly compromised blood sugar state of a person, might cause this brain fog. You never know. I mean, these are things that we see often enough in the consulting clients that we consult, and not everyone responds positively to ALCAR. And for a lot of folks, when we get to the bottom of it, we have actually seen that some people have like hemoglobin A1C issues, which is a marker of where your blood sugar's been over the course of the last 3 months. And they've got otherwise blood sugar issues. And for some reason, they don't interact with ALCAR all that well. Okay, so that's my take on it. Not everyone's gonna respond to ALCAR. For those that do, it is a powerful compound. I respond well to it. I happen to respond well to it. I love it. It's one of my favorite nootropics there are, but not everyone's gonna respond well to it, and kind of that's my take. I don't know why the guy was having nightmares. Maybe someone else can chime in on that. I have no idea. It could have to do with choline. It could have to do with acetylcholine. We know that taking Huperzine A as an example normally brings people into a state where they have a lot of dreaming and a lot of lucid dreaming. And so that's cholinergically mediated, right? It's mediated by increases in acetylcholine, and so that could have something to do with this. That's my take on it. ALCAR is awesome if it works for you, but if not, you might get nightmares. You might have anxiety. But one thing that OP might want to try is heavy B complex, something like Jarrow B right, to regulate neurotransmission while you're taking the ALCAR, and then something like theanine, L-theanine, to kind of tone the anxiety down, 200 to 400 milligrams of L-theanine, and it might actually fix the guy's problem. Okay, so that's my take on it. Thanks so much for watching. Guys, coupon code 5 is now active at livecortex.com, FIVE, to get any of our nootropic products pretty cheap. Just takes $5 off of anything. That is the mighty, epic, Emperor Cortex Nootropic Stack. I mean, we got a call just recently by corporate folks. I mean, obviously, we can't name the company, but it's a company anyone would know. Senior level person, okay? Senior level C-suite person within that company takes the Cortex Stack, changing the guy's life. He was like running into this mode where he wasn't productive enough, and it was starting to become a problem. Like he couldn't focus, he couldn't stay on point. Cortex Stack, basically changed the guy's life. And so we're getting a lot of great reviews about Cortex. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Cortex Stacks. For those of you that have tried Cortex and want to review it, just go review it there. But yeah, right now, coupon code 5 gets your Cortex for $5 off at livecortex.com. The rest of our stuff we'll explain here in just a second. You want to stick around because this is powerful nootropic stuff. We don't call our stuff elite level nootropic products for nothing. The market says so. It is great stuff. Check it out here in a sec. Thanks for watching. What's up, everybody? Ryan Michael Balla here. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Look, we've got, as it stands, 5 primary products that I want to just explain to you. You heard us mention them during the video, so I'm going to break them down. Number 1, from left to right, the Cortex Nootropic Stack. This is a cognitive enhancement stack that you really want to take to turn the lights on. Just to give you an idea, hardcore business folks that require 18 to 20 hours of brain function, take the Cortex Stack. That's what we initially designed it for, but then like everybody in the nootropic sphere loved it. Verbal fluency, speed of processing, motivation, drive to want to work. That's what the Cortex Stack does. Moving right along, the aniracetam guide there, that is called the Beginner's Guide to Aniracetam, breaks down 25 powerful aniracetam stacks, shows you how to use aniracetam. It's essentially the everything guide to aniracetam. Long demanded, folks asked us for it, we delivered. It is fully digital, lots of powerful stacks. And then there's the nootropic stacks for the business professional. That's basically 100, right around 100 powerful uridine, modafinil, theacrine, aniracetam, oxiracetam, phenylpiracetam, ALCAR stacks for business situations, for the type of brain states that business folks need for sustained performance. Next is the Racetam God Guide. That is a high-level every Racetam guide, digital guide. We've got all the major Racetams with accompanying focus stacks and memory stacks and speed of processing stacks. In that Racetam. There's 8 major nootropic Racetams, and that guide explains all of them and accompanying stacks. Then there's the Noopept Pro Stack List. The Noopept Pro Stack List is a digital guide that explains oral, so just taking it by mouth, sublingual, taking it under the tongue, and then intranasal, spraying Noopep nasal spray in your nose, stacks. It's just a bunch of stacks, a giant stack list of Noopep stacks that are highly effective, pro-level, specific brain state inducing type of Noopep stacks. That thing has been a hit out there with the market. And then last, there's Smarter, Better, Faster. Smarter, Better, Faster is the all-around, everything nootropics digital guide. If you just want to learn everything, many racetams, modafinil, etc., get Smarter, Better, Faster. It's like the guide you need to know if you're new to nootropics to learn basically everything and to walk away knowing what you need to know on nootropics. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. Get this stuff at livecortex.com and rock on.